Good evening, Rust enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Yes, just 2 days ago, all of these skins rotated into Rustor, and basically in this video, we're going to look at their progress based on sales and try and figure out, are these skins still holding up to being perfectly fine investments, or are there any potential problems that you need to be aware of? So sit back and relax. I'm going to start yapping. Right, so to get started, we're looking at the first 24 hours of sales, and, well, Neon Hazmat Locker, 10,500 subscribers. That sounds quite impressive. But if we were to just do a little comparison to the previous week, what do we see? Well, the Neon Full Kit Locker, the first Neon Locker skin to be accepted, that did 20,800 subscribers, double the amount that Hazmat has. So does that have not as much interest? Is that a potential problem? Or are there some other things that we need to discuss? Well, sit back and relax. We will be talking about that in a bit. Then, of course, we had the likes of Commando Tier 3. Well, you know, I looked at that and I thought, another blackout alternative? Well, they also sell at $4 a piece. And once I realised that, I was like, you know what? Maybe we don't see that many excess sales. And by that, I mean people who buy these with the pure intent to sell. Yes, that might sound silly to say, but there's a lot of people that like to just buy skins immediately and try and sell them immediately as well. With what I see here, it seems very calm. It feels very relaxed. And potentially, if we do see signs, or actually see it happen, a continuation being produced and potentially accepted in the future, that very likely could spike in demand, spike in price very, very nicely. How high will it go? Well, it's debatable because it's already at a high price point. So that'll be something we'll discuss in a bit. And of course, Neonwire door, well, 7,000 subscribers, not too bad. It's holding up perfectly, reasonably fine. All right, that's good. Abyss sheet metal double door, well, 7,000 subscribers as well. But after many discussions about the amount of sheet metal double doors we've had so far this year and whatnot, is that a reasonable amount of sales, or is it looking a bit awkward? So that's something we'll discuss. And out of the remaining skins, I'm just going to point out the likes of Hunter Waterpipe. First Waterpipe skin to be accepted in about 2.5 years. I questioned, is it likely going to sell too much? Is there going to be potential problems? Nope, 5,600 subscribers. Very tame. Cool. So the reason why I'm bringing up like the tame sales and whatnot, because of course, literally the previous week, July 4th wipe, that was pretty crazy, wasn't it? Like 15,000 subscribers and all the clothing and whatnot. That did 20,000 plus. Clearly, maybe far too much money was spent this week. So now the likes of this week, people just don't have that much to offer. Right, let's hop out of here. Let's go ahead and talk about the 48 hours of sales. Now, just to give you a little bit of insight, it is a couple hours after, 48 hours. Just want to make sure of that. But with the momentum that we see for sales and whatnot, it shouldn't be that much different, so don't worry. Right, let's talk about all of these skins in order from what we can see here and discuss, are there potential good things to be aware of, are there potential bad things? Right, Neon Hazmat Locker. So, second Neon Locker to be accepted, and it is expected that there will be a third one, Tier 2, and apparently it's going to be red, so that's cool. So keep an eye out on the likes of the workshop over the course of this weekend. Oh, there's some new skins already, interesting. But basically, we have to talk about with the momentum of sales that we see here, is it matching up anywhere close to the last week locker? I'm talking Full Kit Locker. So that reached up to 42,000 subscribers, and that is pretty maddening. What's also maddening is that's now sitting there at $5. So let's just kind of give you some insight into behavior that we're kind of expecting and kind of happened. So just to quickly remind you, Duck is the man behind the Neon Storage Collection, and of course around a month ago we randomly got the Neon Small Fuel Storage being accepted. That was a big surprise to everybody. Now, at the time that was accepted, we were thinking about, well, is there potentially going to be a continuation being produced and potentially accepted? That did happen, but we didn't know that. So when we were questioning how to approach that, of course, when the next roster appeared and food was accepted, that spiked in demand and spiked in price all the way up to $4, $1.49 to $4. That behaviour I was questioning, because when we had the likes of this last week, Neon Full Kit Locker, if we were to see a brand new locker the very next week, will you have the exact same behaviour? Well, that's now sitting here at $5. Now, it did peak up to about 5.5, but point made. People did jump in, buy that all out. Cool. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about this in a second, but hopping back over to here, we're here to focus the Neon Hazmat Locker. So, if that type of behaviour did work out with the likes of the locker here, what about this locker? Is it going to match up to the likes of the behaviour that we see here? So, at the current rate of sales, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it's only going to do between 22,000 to 25,000 subscribers. Quite a lot less compared to the Full Kit Locker. But We did see similar things in regards to the likes of the situation here with the storages. So with the likes of these 3 small boxes, they matched up quite nicely to the amount of sales that this Neon Small Fuel Storage did. 40,000 subscribers, 52,000 subscribers, 38,000 subscribers. But what happened to these 3 is they all ended up dipping below their Rust Store price. Yes, Meds is now slightly above, but it did dip at one point. So they're kind of already sort of struggling. They're doing okay in terms of retaining most of their value, but give it a couple months. Once we reach around October time, this very likely could turn into a pretty big problem. But then we have small seed storage. Now, not too long ago, I did talk about this. I mentioned a term, investing fatigue. Basically, people jumped onto the likes of these expecting the exact same behavior that we saw the likes of this fuel storage. Didn't happen. They actually ended up losing money. When it came to this box, all right, people probably questioned, do I even need a seeds box? I've already bought all the others. And investors as well, they probably thought, I didn't really make any profit with the likes of the other boxes. So that only ended up doing about 26,500 subscribers. These dip below their Rust Store price and go up a bit and dip a bit and whatnot. This right here, that's actually been very stable. Right now, on the Steam market, there is only 37 listings, and it is comfortably sitting there at $2. With a quick comparison, food storage, you were the second small box to be accepted. You have 418 listings. A very big difference. So acknowledging that and acknowledging what happened with the fuel storage in the locker, this locker particularly, are we going to see behaviour matching up with the likes of Neon Hazmat here, with the likes of seeds, or with the likes of food? Based on the sales that it's projected to have, it's more likely going to be like this. So in theory, that actually might work out very nicely. And of course, what's expected to happen, or rather appear over the course of this weekend? The third locker. Right. Maybe, just maybe, that might work out quite alright in terms of a short-term profit. But as time goes on, with the likes of this even retain its value? Well, this is where I want to kind of focus this a little bit more now. With the Neon 4 kit locker, yeah, alright then. When we got the continuation being accepted, that got bought out. That went all the way up to about $5.50. But let me tell you, this right here, for everyone who bought it last week, currently right now, not everybody currently has the ability to sell it. This is a big hype moment. I don't think this is going to be retaining this price that much longer. So, of course, I already mentioned $5.50. It's now going below, slightly below $5. If you happen to own any of these, maybe it's time to consider selling them now and potentially picking these up for a much cheaper price around October time. Yeah, you've basically said that tons of times already so far, like the past 2 months, but it happens pretty much all the time. So, yep. Summer last year, 90,000 average player count for those months. Cool. Couple of months later, drops off quite significantly. And of course, during that period of time, many skins dropped in value. Awkward, but this keeps happening every single year. And lo and behold, look at this summertime. Awesome. What's likely going to happen in just a couple of months' time? Oh dear. So, if you happen to own some of these, and remember, that did 42,000 subscribers. I just looked at food storage a minute ago. That has 400 listings. Do you reckon we're going to see 400 listings of these eventually? Well, if you're a little bit panicky now, I'm noticing more people listing these as well. That's quite funny. You might want to quickly grab the profit whilst you can and then move on. Better to walk away with some profit than no profit, because that will take some time to rebound and eventually go back up in price again. We are expecting to go through the dip. We're going to potentially reach a new low point around October time, but from then on, it can only rise up in price, and will probably peak again around post-Christmas, January 2025. We'll likely dip again during Easter, and then, of course, next summer, it'll probably peak again, and potentially to a new higher price. We shall see. But I've given you the warning. It's probably better just to walk away with the profit whilst you still can, because I don't expect it to be retaining this price, potentially as early as, well, this next Rust Store. So we'll see, but we are aware that there's very likely going to be a third one. That'll be tier 2. So, Neon Hazmat, going back to you with the sales, honestly, hey, we can just stick with doing buy orders. That's abnormal, right? This upcoming Wednesday, we can see how many sales it had by then, and if it's selling less than what I've projected, all right, maybe I feel confident to put down a little bit more money. But I just can't help but assume it's going to go down pretty hard over the course of the next 2 months. So, all right, we'll play it safe with some buy orders and maybe do a little bit of a stronger buy order over a different account. We shall see. But that right there, let's just at least wait it out. Abnormal buy orders first, then we discuss how we approach it afterwards. Okay? Patience is rewarding. Let's just be patient with it. All right? So let's move on. Commando Tier 3. Right, so when we first saw this, $4 a piece each? Another blackout alternative? Anyway, this was interesting. Well, first of all, it's made by Kosem, who of course made the likes of the Legacy Kevlar collection, the previous blackout alternative, so that just seemed very silly. Anyway, looking at this, I questioned, are these even likely going to retain that high price point, $4? Are we even going to see continuations? Well, if I could just quickly hop over to here, take a look at the comments in the workshop. Yes, Road Sign will be next. In short, keep an eye on the workshop. You're very likely going to see Commando Tier 2 this weekend. Right, so that's interesting, that's fine. But you just went on a ramble, Hedge, sitting there talking about the likes of this and the other locker that around October time, we're very likely going to see those go down in price. Would that apply to this and all skins in general? Yes. I'm concerned. But I will sit here and say, I'm kind of surprised these really aren't selling that much. I'm looking at both of these and expecting that potentially they're going to reach up to around 16 to 18,000 subscribers. Now, if I were to compare to the likes of, I don't know, all those other blackout alternatives, which of course I did make a little video showcasing, yes. Rust Blackout Skin Collection comparisons. I brought in all the other notable blackout alternative skin collections, along with the likes of Commando Tier 3, and, well, I looked at all of them. I did some combinations. Please consider giving this video a watch. All the chapters are there for anything that might interest you. Right, so, having looked at all of that and whatnot, I noticed quite a lot of those skin collections had like one group of core pieces that were struggling. It's unfortunate, and with the likes of all the core pieces, Dragon Rage, Black Gold, I noticed they only kind of sit around $2.50 to $3. Now, knowing that there's a lot of cheaper options, especially with the likes of Legacy Kevlar, which came out recently, maybe people just don't really want to buy into these when they could just go grab the other cheap options. This is a concern. However, is there anything that can likely give it a nice boost? Well, I just pointed out, Tier 2, hoodie and pants. When a new core piece is accepted, the pre-existing core pieces are likely to spike in demand, spike in price. So in a bit of a weird situation, by default, I don't really see this retaining its value. Yes, the sales aren't exactly crazy compared to the likes of the previous week, which you can see right here. Those hoodie and pants went over 30,000 subscribers. But over to here, with this potentially only going between 16 to 18,000 subscribers, well, that's not too bad. And yeah, if it's not selling too ridiculously, potentially all the better for it to rise up in price when new skins are accepted. But it's $4. How high could it even spike up when it's already technically at a high point? This, by default, is already more expensive compared to the likes of Black Gold, Pirate Collection, Legacy Kevlar, Dragon Rage. Need I go on? Do you understand? So, yeah. And then you're going to sit there and say, well, what about Blackout? Guys, you might not realise this, and I do mention it quite a lot in the video that I just pointed out. Blackout Tier 3 isn't that expensive. Quite literally, it's basically almost the same price with the likes of Commando Tier 3. Chest plate, $4.50. Face mask, $7.30. Yes, it's a little bit more pricey, but not as much as you probably initially thought. So I do lean more towards, I think it won't be retaining its price. But there still will be those instances where if we do see continuations being accepted, alright, cool. It might spike up to a nice higher point. I just don't think it'll last forever. I very likely will be just sticking with doing a buy order. So, based on the progress and the momentum I see there, 16 to 18,000 subscribers, but still, I would feel more safer to just stick with doing a buy order. Best of luck to you, Kosem. Let's see what you produce next, and of course, let's see if it gets accepted. Moving on. Neonwire door. Now, this actually took me quite by surprise. With the likes of what I see here, this Neonwire door is quite literally a facette sheet metal door, but with glow-in-the-dark and colour. Someone pointed this out to me in a YouTube comment, so if you know who you are, feel free to comment below and say, hey, it was me. I actually did a quick comparison between these two. He's correct. It's quite literally the same door, but with colour and glow-in-the-dark. Mr. Mad Polly. He isn't exactly trying very hard, but he is trying a little bit smarter. So, in all fairness, okay, you got your skin accepted. Congratulations. But sheet metal doors in general, let's just kind of talk about this. They don't hold up very well. Take a look at this. What do you mean, Hedge? What's going on? Take a look at all the sheet metal doors that came out this year. Yeah. Yep. Not exactly holding up very nicely, is it? No. So, yeah, wait, are we missing a sheepman of door? Did one of them vanish? Didn't we have a sheepman of door the previous week? No. Okay. I went a little bit crazy there. Don't worry, I'm good. Anyway, with the likes of the most recent sheepman of door that we had, that being the Fiend sheepman of door, look at that. That came out literally about 2 weeks ago, and look at the state of it now. It was sold for $2.49, now it sells for 94 cents. It also glowed in the dark. It also looked very nice. And now it's there. Look at all of these sheepman of doors, and you will see that whilst many of them even were part of collections that were brewing and slowly growing into bigger collections, look at the state of them. Every single sheepman of door that came out so far this year, and I guess I can compare to last year, out of all the skins that came out over the past 2 years, only 2 of them are currently in the positive, and they're right there. So, okay, that sounds very sensible, doesn't it? No. Personally, I think I will just stick with doing a buy order, and it won't be a very big one, sorry to say. It's currently sitting here at 10,600 subscribers. I'm thinking, at the very least, it's going to probably reach around 16,000 subscribers. I am not confident it's going to retain its value. I fully believe it will be dip and below, so I'll just stick with doing a buy order. Sorry to say, but I am looking at this with the financial perspective, so it is what it is. What if we see a deplorable collection brewing for the likes of that? Well, looking at all those sheep on the doors just a second ago, you can see for yourself that some of them were actually part of fairly bigger deplorable collections, such as the likes of the Shadowborn one. Shadowborn sheep on the door, at one point it was perfectly fine and positive. Look at it now. It's down by 29%. It's just not reliable, I'm afraid, so I'm sure you get it. Let's move on. Abyss sheepman double door. Right, so with the amount of sheepman double doors we've had accepted so far this year, it's actually quite surprising to see all of them are still in the positive. That's nice, that's cute. Very likely not going to last forever. October. You'll see probably all of these in the negative by October time. When I'm looking at this, at the current rate of subscribers we have, we've basically already looking like we're surpassing Nuke Room Double Door. I don't know if we're going to get close to Tempered Sheepman Double Door. Looking at this, again, I think this is also going to probably end up with around 15 to 16,000 subscribers by next Thursday. But it is part of a fairly well built up and fairly well liked collection. Look at that. Most of the skins in this collection doing ever so nicely. And if it only does about 15, 16,000 sales, it really ain't that much. And potentially in the future, it could work out ever so nicely. But the state of sheet metal double doors in general this year, ridiculous. Twitch drops, tons of skins accepted. I don't know what's going on, and people have been questioning me. Like, what's the point in even investing anymore when the reliable things are no longer reliable? I get that, I understand. But hey, a smart buy order can still lead to some pretty interesting profits. How low will that potentially go? Well, I have to talk about that with the upcoming abnormal buy orders. Yes, that is also abnormal, and well, I'm very likely just going to stick with doing a buy order. I know I keep saying this, but it's the smarter way to go about it. So it's not doing insane numbers, but still smarter to just kind of maybe take a step back and just stick with doing buy orders, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. My first base wooden door, I said it when I saw it with the rust door rotation and whatnot, and I'll say it again, just look at all the wooden doors that came out over the past few years, and every single one of them is in a negative. Yes, the Easter door is slightly in the positive. That was manipulated to high heaven, and it only just recently kind of stopped. So every single one of these is down pretty bad. Need I say any more? Look, if you like the skin, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, appreciate it, love it, and support that skin creator. But you're not going to be making any profit out of it. All right, so if you like it, buy it for yourself and enjoy it. If you're looking at that with the financial perspective, it's just not really it's pointless. It's pointless, I'm sorry to say. So subscriber count, you could probably go do around 13 to 14,000 subscribers. Let's move on. Pirate Furnace, right, so I like it. It looks cool. If you actually see this in game, and for a good comparison, please consider looking at the likes of my rust door rotation video where we give this a good look. It's got that cool looking ghost ship aesthetic. Nice theme, pretty spooky, white interior, cool. Now, I have brought up this whole trend in the past where furnaces with different coloured interiors, aka, so as long as it is an orange, yellow or red inside, tends to be a little bit more valuable. If I were to show the most valuable furnaces, if I go to here highest price, well, you can see the likes of Toxic Furnace there, the green interior, Neonwire, so it came out somewhat recently, that's got a nice pink interior, Ghostly Flame, green, Abyss Furnace came out last year, purple, you get the idea. Well, sort of recently, we have noticed the likes of the Blackberry Furnace right there, Pink interior, not exactly doing super great. Scroll down. Last Halloween, Spider Cocoon Furnace. Green interior. Oh, wow, down 42%. Now, it did sell excessively as well, so I should point that out. But anyway, it's not going to be super reliable, basically. Looking at this, I am thinking, and that's a problem. Well, with what I see here, it's got me questioning. I know furnaces so far this year haven't really held up very well, as you can see. They haven't really dropped down super bad, but I've seen furnaces in the past during the likes of the dreaded autumn-fall seasonal dip. Around October time, they do drop off pretty badly. I'm looking at that. I'm acknowledging the likes of the Pirate Collection, still reasonably in demand and whatnot, but these deplorables did drop off pretty badly. And it's very likely it's going to happen all over again, and potentially even worse. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, you know what, I just want to stick with doing a buy order. The amount of sales that you currently have, I'm expecting you're probably going to end up doing around 13 to 15,000 subscribers. I'm also noticing, like subscriber counts definitely not matching up perfectly here, but hey, what it is. But yeah, I think I'm probably just going to stick with doing a buy order. I like the skin, but I can just tell, based on what I've seen in the past and whatnot, still expect it to dip down in price, so we'll reflect that with our buy orders. Moving on, Cold Hunter Waterpipe. An interesting skin that we saw being accepted, and, well, just to quickly remind all of you, this is the first Waterpipe skin to be accepted in 2.5 years. There was a bit of a drought, but with a sheer lack of options, new options I should say, pretty much every single Waterpipe skin did end up in the positive. Wow, look at that. Bar 2 of them, just to point out. But anyway, looking at that, I was initially thinking, oh, it might sell too much, that might be a problem. Nah, it looks like it's only going to do between maybe 13 to 14,000 subscribers in total by Thursday. Okay, that's cool. It's not abnormal, which is a bit of a problem. But if I could just quickly compare to the more recent Waterpipe skins we've had, such as Tiger Pipe and Deep Dive Waterpipe, yeah, that did around 14,000 subscribers. This did around 12,000 subscribers. Yeah, Both of those skins did work out quite nicely. But what definitely helped them out was a sheer lack of options, of course. What happens if we suddenly start seeing tons of these? Well, much like how we saw tons of sheep in the doors suddenly, it kind of negatively affected the previously existing ones, and they did drop off in value, unfortunately. With the arrival of this appearing today, or rather a couple of days back, sorry, forgot where I was, I'm pretty sure some skin creators noticed that and thought, well, if MDE could pull it off, maybe I could as well. Maybe I should make a Waterpipe as well, because I'm pretty sure a lot of those skin creators are very bored of making the same thing over and over and over again. If that got accepted, maybe they could try and get their own Waterpipe accepted as well. And if we start seeing more and more and more, suddenly, well, that sadly isn't so special anymore, is it? Now, you can sit there and say, I love Cold Hunter Collection and whatnot. Surely it'll be alright. Well, look at all the recent Cold Hunter weapon skins we've had, and you can notice a bit of a difference. Yeah, it's not reliable, it's not super safe. Chances are I will just stick with doing a buy order. I just can't imagine it's going to drop off that badly. It's not selling stupidly. I think a more reliable thing to say will be 12,000 to 14,000 subscribers. That'll probably be a little bit more safer to say, but do still expect it to dip down in price, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Keep an eye on it. And, of course, keep an eye out on the workshop over the course of this weekend. Of course, keep an eye out for the likes of my Rust Workshop skin checks. I will see if any other skin creator plots to make another Waterpipe themselves. So, cool. Pirate MP5. Well, I mean, nice, cool design, tattered flag on it and whatnot. Unfortunately, don't have a lot of confidence is the word. Yep, that's it. Look at all the MP5s that came out this year. Oh, dear. And it's expected to get worse. So, Pirate Collection, I did show it off just a second ago, as we'll see. Not exactly every single weapon's doing alright at the moment. Unfortunate. Awkward. If that's what it's looking like now, after just reaching peak prices about a good couple of weeks ago, well, what do you reckon? Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the barter. And honestly, at the current rate, I might just do 60 cents to 80 cents. Very sorry to say, but yeah, if I want to not, get dumped on, if I want to refrain from getting dumped on insanely, I've got to play it safer. And I'm sure you don't want to be dumped on either. So yeah, you want to keep your money. You want to keep your Steam wallet. Rainjoy Large Wood Box. You're not really selling that much, but considering the amount of large wood boxes we've had somewhat recently, or more specifically for like the past month, and knowing at the end of this month we got another Twitch drop large box, fancy orb. Well, that's oh, it's right there. Oh, they've updated it. Oh, cool. Anyway, yeah, that glows in the dark and is very out of this world. This doesn't glow in the dark, and that potentially might be a bit of a problem. But if it ends up being the lowest selling large box out of all of this year, maybe that might work out quite nicely. Maybe we do see some more Rainjoy skins being accepted. Maybe we do get a deplorable collection. But with the amount of large boxes, we've had so far this year, I'm questioning it. Okay, yeah. So I probably will just stick with doing a barter. But hey, skin creators' first ever skin to be accepted, Kessa right here. Very likely they will instantly make a continuation. If you want to show some support to them, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support that skin creator, keep them nice and motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. You understand what I'm normally about, so yeah. Investment, financial perspective, I understand, but consider showing some support. So I probably will just stick with doing a barter there. Smouldering Barricade. You're abnormal, but you're a barricade. Oh dear, cargo heli's already gone down by 22%. Who'd have guessed? So, yeah, that only just came out a short while back, and yeah, it's already going down in price. And it doesn't even have that many listings. That's another thing I've got to get the point across. It doesn't have that many listings. It just doesn't have any demand. Yeah. I don't think people care for the Smouldering collection. Take one quick look. Oh dear, oh dear. Looking at the total sales so far. Yeah, I think that's only doing around... That's probably only going to reach up to about 10,000 subscribers, which actually would line up perfectly with the likes of this and this and this. And look at the state of those. Yeah, not exactly super great there, is it? Yeah. I also realised I didn't talk about potential subscriber counts of these. 10,000 to 11,000, and, well, same thing, 10,000 to 11,000 here as well. But you, just around 10,000 subscribers, so I don't expect much of it. At best, I'll probably do a 50-cent buy order, but even then, I don't really feel like I won't even bother. Oh, wow, I could buy it for 50 cents. Try selling it. So I'm sorry to say, what do you use barricades for? What do you use them for? I don't know. Please tell me. And don't say decoration. That's not going to sell well enough or have enough demand to keep the price up. So, moving on. Here we have the Royal Safari SAR. You're not selling that much, probably due to the fact that, well, we have tons of SARs, which you can see right here. And look at all the SARs that came out the past 2 years. You'll notice that pretty much out of like almost 40, yeah, only 2 of them are currently in the positive. Awkward. Yes. So, yeah. All right, Royal Safari. You are gold with tiger stripes. That looks pretty cool. Will that hold up nicely? Well, didn't we have an AK literally like a week or 2 ago? Oh, look, it's down by 46% after sending up $3.49. And that did 8,200 subscribers. So, let me just kind of give you a little insight. AKs, SARs, they're kind of like matching up in terms of behaviour quite a lot because there's quite a lot of them to compare to. And rarely do you see any of them stay in the positive. I'm not joking though. I think I'm just going to stick with doing a 60-cent to 80-cent buy order. Looks nice and whatnot. It's just... Now, if it sells hardly anything, it could also be very susceptible for manipulation in the future. But that's not really something I'm going to rely upon. That is abnormal though. We can discuss that a little bit more on Wednesday, but I would not be surprised if it goes down to around $1 pretty quickly. In fact, how many of these SARs that came out this year are around nearly to around $1? So that's literally $1.01, that's $1.58, that's $1.50, $1.26, $1.34, $4, $1.24, $1.23, $1.32, $2.69. Alright, only one of them's down real bad, but quite a lot of them are down quite a significant chunk. And if around October time is expected to be worse, hey, look at it then. You're probably going to see a lot of these down to around $1 then. So, yeah. We're probably just going to stick with the long-term safer option, the long-term buy order. So, cool. Right, so that was basically everything. Total subscriber count for that Royal Safari SAR, that's going to probably be 8,000 subscribers as well. Sorry, I left that. Sorry. Anyway, with the likes of all of these, calm week, that's fine. No issues. At the very least, guys, please consider keeping an eye on the likes of the workshop for all the newer skins, and keep an eye on the commits as well, you know? We don't know what's coming out for the likes of August, but Radtown Redux, surely, like, you know. And of course, we've been seeing mentions of the likes of the jungle biome content. There might be a jungle biome. There's a lot of mentions for likes of jungle-themed animals that have been mentioned, so yeah. Also, just want to bring this up, looks like July isn't doing better compared to June, which is kind of surprising to me, but still very good. 95,000 average player count. Not too bad. let's just quickly look at the previous week, just get a quick look and see how that's currently holding up. And yeah, no, the skins they're still doing all right. They're still doing okay. It's nice to see. We didn't get those immediate continuations. Let's see with the likes of next week's Rush Store, see what happens then. But yeah, with the likes of my recent Rush Store investing reviews, a lot of the skins we've been seeing as of recent dropping off quite badly, and it's very sad to see. But we are steering towards the likes of slowly reaching autumn fall seasonal dip. October time, we're now slowly cruising down to the lowest point. So I would recommend you consider selling some of your skins now. That would definitely be a recommendation. I've been doing it. I've sold quite a lot, to be honest. I was happy with the profits I got, knowing that I could just buy the skins again for a cheaper price in October. Do you get the idea? Buy now, get good money, sell, and then buy again just in a couple of months' time. Hey, not only did you get your skin back, you've also still got a bunch of Steam Wallet. Simple as that. So yeah, that's up to you. If you can't really be bothered, hey, that's fine. That's fine. It's up to you. Now, with a lot of the more recent newer skins, we have noticed pretty quick drop-offs. So if I quickly hop over to here to the June Force White, one notable thing I keep bringing up was the fact that this immediately went down to half its price. Now, what about if I brought up the Garage Door? Where are you, Garage Door? Were you June 13? Or were... Oh, no, you're June 27. That's it. That's also started to dip down pretty significantly as well. Already down to $3. Both of those doors had transparency and glow-in-the-dark. I didn't expect these to drop off that quickly. I thought we were going to see these points at around October. It's like that, guys. It's really maddening. So, you've been warned. Monitor your barders. Keep an eye on everything you've pretty much done. I'm sorry to say, but you've got to do it. And yeah. Just because you did a lower price buy order doesn't necessarily mean you won't get dumped on. It'll be eventually your turn. So as long as you keep track, you'll be safe. Because if it gets too close, you could just remove your buy order and put down another one at a lower price. Or wait it out until October and just buy certain skins. Because by then, they will be at the lowest point. And I've said that about 5 times already this video, so I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.